Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Behavior Bites podcast. My name is Brad Hoffman.
I'm Mackenzie Charling.
And I am Mike Fight.
On today's show, we're going to share a couple of go-to classroom intervention strategies for disruptive behaviors that you guys see in the classroom. But first, Mike, Mackenzie, how do you guys feel about running? Mike, running, like jogging for health and fitness and wellness and enjoyment. How do you feel about that?
Not a fan. No.
Oh, no way.
Like,
No.
do you do it? You don't do it functionally, like so you could escape like a hyena pack that was chasing you, or just not at all?
I have other approaches for that situation, and it doesn't involve running because they're going to win.
So there's not
no,
a
we
whole lot like that we could do to convince you to like go for a jog.
No.
All right. What do you do instead to stay physically? Because you're a fit guy. What do you do to stay physically fit?
I don't. Chores, Brad. I do chores.
He just wakes up like that,
Pulls
everybody.
weeds
Yeah,
in his
just
garden.
naturally.
All right.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, do you run?
I do.
Do you love it or do you do it because you have to?
I don't do it because I have to. I do it by choice. Not always a good choice. But I like the adrenaline after. I'm much more productive. Actually, I had to run every morning like 6 months ago to just be productive throughout the day.
Wow.
Clear mind.
Okay.
That's what it gives me.
All right. So I run not because I'm any kind of a runner and I don't enjoy it and I'm bad at it, right? But A, I do it to not die. And then B, there's that sense of accomplishment, right? You get done. I did something hard and I got done. Now, so I was jogging last week, right? And I was jogging from my gym back to my house, and there's like a hill, right, that you have to run up along the sidewalk. And as I was going up the hill, there was a police car parked like in the entryway to this like soccer field, like along the sidewalk. So he was like in my way, and he saw me, and I was running up the hill, which is even harder for me. And so I saw. Our eyes met, and the officer looked at me and smiled, and I looked at him and I smiled, and I'm like, and as I got close, I was just going to give him like a thumbs up or a peace sign and keep on jogging by. And the guy got out his radar gun and was pointing it at me. And he was like, and I got close enough, and he goes, "You better go faster, pal." And I was like, "Listen, buddy, this is the best I can do." And that is what the police are like in Lincoln, you guys. In Lincoln, Nebraska, that's what the police are like.
That's not funny, Proctor. No, sir.
Funny and kind of mean.
So what was the miles per hour?
He didn't tell me. He just
Probably like
mocked me.
2.5.
Oh, at least 4.
At least. I don't
You
know.
know what?
My app gives me how fast I go.
You know what? Hills are hard. You guys shut up.
2.5 then on the hill.
What I'm learning from this story is that if you ever commit a crime, all you got to do is make eye contact with a police officer and smile, and they're not going to mess with you. So
I'm not. Yeah, it worked all right for me at that time. I don't think I was speeding. All right, so we're gonna get into our episode, but one of the through line components to all of the work that we do here at the ESU and through Behavior Bites is we deal a lot with relationships, right, guys? The relationships that we build with our kids, the relationships that we build with our colleagues and the community, right? Mike, you have this idea that you've talked about forever called relationship currency. Will you just real briefly explain to the folks what that is?
Like we talk about relationship building often in our classrooms, and this whole concept is that we can think of it like a banking account for relationships. We build up good vibes, good energy, good relationships with our student, and then when things get tough and we ask them to do something difficult, we might draw that account down a little bit. Essentially, like, we're all wired this way, is that we are much more likely to do difficult things for people that we know care about us, that we have a relationship with. Yeah, that's the thing. It supercharges, turbocharges all of our other classroom management benefits, that our classroom management strategies that we're going to do in regardless. It just always makes them better if we spend a little bit of that time building a relationship.
And the upshot is that if I like a person, or if I respect a person, or if I trust a person, I'm more likely to listen to them. I'm more likely to partner with them and cooperate with them. And if I hate somebody, I'm actually a lot less likely to do what they want me to do, just because, you know what? I'm going to be a little bit thorny for you, and we've all
I got those students that like will simply defy you because they don't like you, not for any other reason, that's the only reason, is like, well, I'm showing Mr. Hoffman who's boss. That's it. So
I'm going to save it for another episode, but I'm actually super excited to tell. I've got a great story about a kid who you get the kid who, I'm going to purposely fail this test that negatively impacts me because I hate you.
Yeah, I have a question. Like,
Yeah.
can you read a kid's relationship, like the classroom's relationship currency? Like, I'm curious. You walk into a classroom.
You know, it's a lot of it's going to be like body language type of stuff, and just you can just see it on like the posture on kids' faces. They're more likely to smile. Their body's going to be a little bit more relaxed. It's subtle, so there's not like a relationship-o-meter that dings, when things are going off. You just get kind of good at it, of reading those nonverbals and just the general vibe of the class. So I have to think about that there.
Yeah.
I wonder if there is a way to quantify that. That'd be a pretty interesting thing to look into.
The upshot here is that the relationships are key to everything that we do in this work, right? Especially as it relates to social emotional learning and the behavior of our students. So I want everybody to keep that in mind as we engage in our game today. We're going to play a game. All right. Yeah. This game is called Pop Quiz Hot Shot. And Mackenzie, you're a lot younger than me. That's from the movie Speed, starring Keanu Reeves.
Yep, nope.
Mike, you remember that?
I do.
The line?
clue.
Pop Quiz Hot Shot?
I don't.
Speed.
But I remember the movie. So, yeah.
All right. You know what? These movie references are going to...
It's going to be rough.
They're not
for
going
you.
away.
It's going to be
So
hard
you guys
for
are going to have to brush up. All right.
And Mackenzie, what we do, like, that was
Yeah,
a
totally.
good one.
Yeah,
that
When you
was my
said speed,
favorite.
I thought like the game speed, card game speed, not.
All right. This game, you guys are the worst. This game is called Pop Quiz Hot Shot, and it goes like this, all right? Here is the situation. I'm going to give you guys a situation that you see in your classroom, and then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about here is how I would intervene. Like, here's how I would correct that student's behavior, okay? So here's the situation. We're all going to kind of take the same situation here, okay? And the situation is this. And because I'm running this, I get to go first. So there, all right?
All right.
So the
All right.
situation is this, right? I've got a student, Billy. He's in my classroom, and he's being, let's say, verbally disruptive, right? So he's talking to his neighbors. He's cracking jokes. He's kind of muttering. He's blurting. That you guys know that kid, right? All right. And because Billy won't stop talking, it's getting in the way of the learning. And I've done all the teachery stuff, right? I did that teacher thing where you kind of cock your eyebrow, the mom look, right? Right? I used proximity. I did all the things, right? I even was like, hey, Billy, please keep your voice down. It's really hard for everybody else to learn. Look, I even said, please. That was really nice of me, right? And it's not working. So now I'm going to have to intervene somehow. I've got to actually do something about it. Now, I'm going to give you guys think time. You guys got something in your brain but
Right.
So while you guys are thinking about what you're going to say, I'm going to start. And this is a strategy that I have used tons through my career. We've talked about it in behavior bites before, and it is called crop dusting, right? It's the idea with crop dusting. It's an oldie but a goodie, right? The idea with crop dusting is you do your business and you get out of there, right?
Ew, gross.
So here's the thing with crop dusting. Well, thank you.
In elementary, you can just do it.
Yeah. Here's what I'm going to do when I crop dust. I'm going to walk up to Billy. I'm going to say, now, what I'm going to actually have Billy do is irrelevant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Billy move just a different seat, right? Get him out of the center of attention, kind of take the attention off of him so I can move on with learning. But that's irrelevant. I'm not saying you need to move a kid. I'm saying what I'm going to do is interrupt his behavior and do something different. So I'm going to walk up to Billy and I'm going to say, hey, Billy, do me a favor. Will you please move over? Sorry. Let me say that again because I'm not going to ask. Billy, do me a favor. Please move over to that chair. And then I'm going to come over and talk to you in a little bit. All right. Thank you very much. And then I leave. Right. And then in a perfect world, Billy's going to think to himself, well, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to move over. I'm going to do what I'm told. Right. And I'm going to move over and I'm going to wait. But what do we know is that some kids aren't going to do that right away. Some kids might do it eventually, right? But they might need 30 seconds or a minute or 4 minutes to be able to do that. That relationship currency being person-centered is going to help me to know Mike's the kind of kid that he really only needs about 10, 15 seconds and he's going to do it. Mackenzie's the kind of person I need to let her have processing time. I need to let her think through it. Is this worth the fight? Right? Or maybe my anxiety's kicking in and I'm kind of freezing up, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it that direction and I'm going to get out of there. And here's like my 2 cents on this, right? A couple of things that I didn't do, and actually I did it by mistake in my example. One thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to ask her the question, will you do this? Because Mike, if I ask you a yes or no question, what had I better be ready for?
No, I mean, no, I mean, that's it's, and that, I think instinctually that's kind of something we do is, hey, can you go pick up the pencil? And then I got to be prepped. And they go, no,
Yeah.
no.
You gave them the option.
Right. So,
Right. So now I'm in a power struggle potentially, right? So I'm not going to ask the kid to do it. I'm going to say, please do this. Notice the please and thank you. I can still be respectful, right? I can still be
I like
assertive. All right. Hey, please do this. And then I'm going to come talk to you. Thank you very much. And I leave, right? The other thing that I did is that key, there's a key to leaving, right? Because Mackenzie, like you're a mom, right?
Yeah.
And when you ask
yeah.
your kids to pick up, right? Hey, I want you to go pick up your mess that you made over here. What do? We give them the direction and then we stand there and we stare at them.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't make the mess.
Yeah. Yes. We stand there, we stare at them. Are you going to engage with me? Are you going to comply? And we set ourselves into a power
Just like
struggle.
that, too.
Right. Yeah. You cross your arms like, are you going to do this? Right. So I don't want to do that. I'm going to give you the chance to do it and then go. And the last thing I'm going to say about this crop dusting thing, you know what? One other thing that I didn't do is I didn't walk up to Billy and I didn't say, hey, buddy, I've asked you several times not to talk and not to interrupt the class, and you keep doing it. So please do this. If I go up to you, Mackenzie, and I say, Mackenzie, these are the things that you did, you're able to argue with me, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going to.
Yeah. I wasn't talking to my neighbor. I was actually singing a Taylor Swift song because I love her so much. And you do love Taylor Swift, don't you, Mackenzie?
Yes. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Right? Or I was just talking to myself, or I
They
was just thinking
started
out loud. Oh, yeah.
They started it.
I was just telling them to shut up.
Yeah.
Right. And so now I'm in a confrontation. They're denying it. Now I'm in a power struggle. Instead, I give a very simple direction. Please do this. Thank you very much. And then I'm gone. I give them the chance to process it. And here's what we've noticed, Mike. Most kids are going to comply with a reasonable request, even if they're kind of upset or dysregulated. If it's a reasonable request and they have time to think it through, aren't they going to usually comply?
yeah, I mean, really, and the stuff that you said there, some of the key bits are you got to give that processing time. We do so many really good directives and things for kids, and then we just simply don't give them time to comply with it. And that's where we crash and burn. So I love that a lot. And then your physical body is not there for them to even argue with you anymore, because you made your directive and then you rolled on out, and that's their responses are very limited. It's either sit there and feel weird or get up and follow the directive. So it's really good. Shockingly effective. I mean, it really is at how easy it is. It just feels like it shouldn't be that easy, but a lot of times it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yo, dog. You can't argue with me if I'm not there.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, or they're going to holler at you across the room. A lot of times, the stuff that you're talking about, we're not talking about those super intensive behaviors. They're not there yet, and they're simply not going to do that. They're going to get up and follow your directive.
And yo, man, those kids exist. They are going to I have people. I'll talk about crop dusting, and they'll be like, "Well, what about the kid that?"
Yep.
Like you give them the time and then they don't. Yeah, we've got tier 2, tier 3 intervention strategies that we can use for that. But this is sort of like that tier 1 area where it's like, it's going to catch most of your kids because I'm just asking for something reasonable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like easy. I always say I like the easy strategies that take 3 seconds. And if it doesn't work, all right. Well, I got a couple other things to try. I really like going to the easy ones first. High impact, low output type of stuff. I love it.
Yeah. So that's my hot take.
Yeah, it's a
Who
good
wants
one.
to go next?
Yeah, no, I was just going to add to that. I don't even think you have to necessarily have them get up and move if that's not available.
Totally.
Because that was one of my go-tos, was just a simple, direct direction and walk away.
Yeah.
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 Just that pull back. I really like you talked about these things not working, the cues, the minimal cues, or the verbal, nonverbal cues. However, depending, like we talked about, it all comes back to relationships.
Yeah.
Depending on who your kid is, it might be a simple, it might be a simple look.
The mom look.
It might be and it might not be. But that is one of my go-tos. But I always go back to, what's my relationship with this student before I do it? You're going to know your students if you spent time on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationship piece. Yeah.
So, like that point, actually ties really well into what I call short circuiting. All right. And I'll tell you why, because this, like how you would approach doing this is going to depend on what your relationship is with a kid. So the whole concept here is kind of a cognitive dissonance thing. So a kid is being defiant and disrupting class and all that. So I'm going to walk up and I'm going to say something very unexpected. So it short circuits their brain. They're not expecting to hear something like this. So it could be something like this. Brad's talking to his neighbor. He's getting kind of, I'm not doing it. And I'll go over there and something like, hey, Brad, do you like dogs? Okay. Not something you're expected to hear during math class in a fifth grade class. So, do you like dogs? And then I'm ready. So a lot of times, like, well, yeah. Because they just don't know. And then it derails whatever path that they were currently on because it's simply so unexpected. Yep. And then we can go a little further with that. Like, cool, man, me too. I love dogs. Go ahead and finish this up real quick. Yep. And I got to show you. I got a really funny video of my puppy. I'm going to show it to you. You go ahead and finish this up and I'll show that to you. And then I can roll out after that. So now you can, but you got to be careful. Like, that's where you know when the kids is good. So another version of this could be like, Mackenzie, I got to ask you something. Right? You're off the rails. I got to ask you something. Then I pause a little bit because that's not expected. Yeah. Like, can you explain exactly what a skibbity is? Because I'm not real sure about that one. And then they go, well, Mr. Fight, that's the look. Like, yeah, no, just, okay. You know what? I don't have time right now, but I am kind of curious. Let's get this done. See me, and then when this is all done, I'm going to come in. You can explain to me the whole skibbities. You can give me the skibbity on the skibbities, right?
And then their brain is thinking about it,
right? And it just shorts them out from whatever they're doing.
What's that doing for your brain?
So I love that question because what that does, because sometimes I'm just kind of tired of this kid just doing it, and I start to like amp up myself a little bit. If I say something kind of bizarre or come up with something clever or creative to that gets me calm too, because I kind of want to see what the answer is. Yep. And I'm ready. Hey, Brad, do you like dogs? No, I don't like dogs. Like, really? Weird. I want to hear about what animals you might like. Let's finish this up and we can do that. Or would you want to see something? We can go that way with it.
You guys, what Mike's talking about is when kids get sort of like honed in and stuck, right? When Mike says short circuit, the kids get stuck on what I'm mad about math because I hate math and I can't get g. So you're literally short circuiting what's going on in their brain. I've got a question for you. This is another pop quiz hot shot.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, so, from that one movie with the guy in it.
Yeah. Speed.
I love
it's
that
called
one.
Speed, starring Keanu Reeves. It's fantastic. And so Mike, Jeff Daniels is in it too. Anyway, Dennis Hopper. Anyway, Mike, you
Sandra
talked
Bullock.
about what's that?
I think Sandra Bullock was in that.
Yeah. Sandra Bullock. She's
How could you forget?
Hollywood royalty. I'm so sorry.
I did not forget. Go on. So
never forget. All right. So Mike, you said in your example, hey, do you like dogs? Yeah, I like dogs. Hey, I tell you what, let's get this finished up, right? And then I've got this really sweet dog video I want to show you, right? And here's what you're going to hear from a teacher in a training, right? Okay, so you want me to bribe the kid? So I'm supposed to tell the kid, if you do this, then I'll give you something special that nobody else gets. What about all the kids that are just naturally doing the right thing anyway? How do you respond? Because we find ourselves in this. And here's the thing. I don't want to vilify teachers. That's a real feeling, and I've felt it as a teacher because it can feel frustrating. So how do you respond to the teacher who brings up that pretty valid point?
So I have a few different approaches on that one. So you're just going to bribe the kid? Sometime when I'm feeling a little squirrely, I was like, yeah, exactly. Because that kind of short circuits the teacher brain a little bit. But I'm not against that. So what am I bribing them with? A 3-second video of my yellow lab. So that's not that big of a deal. It also leads towards the relationship building thing. It's also a kid that obviously to be in this situation, this kid needs some additional supports just by the nature of what they're doing. So let's put some supports in place. And it just so happens it's me showing them a 3-second video of my dog. And what I'm rewarding them with, I'm rewarding with a 3-second video of my dog for following directions, which is what we kind of should be doing anyways. Let's reinforce. I'm not reinforcing the behavior that they're currently engaged in. I'm going to reinforce them when they are doing the desired behavior. So that's my whole thought process on it.
Yeah.
It's also I can do that 2-second comment. Do you like dogs? Yeah. Hey, cool. I'll show you this. And then 3 seconds. That was 5 seconds for me to get a kid's 15 minutes worth of work out of it. It's totally worth it.
Exactly. And also, a lot of times when we have students that are disrupting or misbehaving, whatever you want to call it, a lot of times they need some type of attention.
Yep.
So right there, you're giving them 3 seconds of attention to get 15 minutes of work out of them.
Yep.
Sounds like a win to me.
So they're attention seeking, and I have some control of the attention we're doing. It's very appropriate type of attention because they're going to get the attention from us one way or another. What they're attempting right now is by jacking around in class or messing with their thing, or that's how they're getting their detention. Or well, they might be getting detention, but how they're getting that attention. But let's give them, hey, sit down. You got to stop, knock it out. They're going to get it from us one way or another.
Exactly.
Do you like dogs? Do you like something like that?
You guys want to hear my hot take on this? All right, so. Totally agree. And I'm really glad that you went with the attention route because, look, I was the kid. Math is hard anyway. But you know what's a lot more rewarding to me than doing this stupid math worksheet or listening to stupid Mr. Hoffman talk is if I crack jokes and make all my friends laugh, I'm getting attention from them. So check this out. What I want the praise and the recognition, the attention for doing something, right? And if I can't get positive attention, I'm going to get negative attention, right? I didn't want to do math anyway. I didn't want to pay attention anyway. Check this out. So I love your example, Mike. Hey, man. Do you like dogs? Blah, 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 blah. We go through all that again. Here's what I want you to do. Let's see if we can get through this. Or specifically to our behavior, I'd like you to, I want you to do your best to keep your voice off for the rest of the time that we're talking, just so that everybody else can learn. Okay. And here's the thing. I've got this really awesome dog video that I want to show the class because of what you are doing. So then if Mike is my student and he ends up fixing his behavior, if he corrects his behavior, then after the 5 minutes or whatever, is be like, hey, you know what, you guys? This has been such a great math lesson we've been doing here. I just want to give a quick shout out, my man Mike over here, who was being an absolute excellent example for everybody else on how to pay attention, how to be attentive, how to look like an excellent student in our class. I've got this sweet video I'm going to show you guys, and it's because of Mike's awesomeness that we get to do that. Everybody say, let's go, Mike. And they're all going to be like, let's go, Mike. And now Mike's getting praise and attention for the good things that he did instead of me bribing him specifically. Everybody gets to participate because Mike did great things.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Really, truly.
So at the end of the day, you guys, as we wrap this this episode up, this all comes back right to our relationships that we have with our kids.
Yep.
Mackenzie brought up an awesome example of like, I wouldn't always necessarily move the kid, and you're right? If I walk into a classroom blind and those kids don't know me at all, and I start moving them around, I might get some pushback on that, right? Yeah. But if it's a class where my 15, 20, 25 students, here's what my kids know about how Mr. Hoffman runs his classroom. If Mr. Hoffman comes over and asks me to move, I'm truly not in trouble, right? Yeah. And I'm not being sent over to the naughty chair, which, by the way, that's one of the problems with moving kids. You and I have talked about this, right, Mike?
Right.
But they know that in Mr. Hoffman's room, it legitimately is just like, hey, yo, dog, move over there. You're not in any trouble. I just want to talk to you without a big audience in front of us. Exactly. We're going to talk. We're going to get things figured out. You're going to come back over. If the culture of my classroom, if the relationship currency that I've got built up with my students is that it's not punitive, right? And it's not degrading to be asked to move somewhere. It's just to practice following directions, get things fixed, we come back.
Can I extend out our analogy here a little bit? Okay, because this is in that scenario, I want to talk more about the relational currency stuff.
Yeah.
So you ask them to change seats, to go to a place that's less distracting. This is a good example here. That might draw down their account a little bit, just because you're asking them to do something hard, might be a little embarrassing. They got to do that. So here they are. We're still in the positive. We still got a stat going here of positive relationship. You do that, then because what you mentioned was so great. Then I'm going to go over and talk to the kid. We're going to process it. Whoop, look at that. We're adding a couple stacks back into that. So we're keeping a positive balance in that account because you did that follow-up after they move seats. Yeah, so that's how we maintain that high relational currency. So cool example.
Yeah. So, all right. Guys, have anything else to add on go-to strategies for what we're doing? Are you feeling pretty good?
No, I just would say as an educator, my personal strategy is self-reflection, which I know we'll get more into, but what am I going to do differently knowing that happened in my classroom? How am I going to make my classroom? How am I going to be proactive? How am I going to know, the situation and how to? So we're going to get into that a little bit more, but that's immediately where my brain goes to once those kids leave my classroom.
And how are you going to bounce back when it blows up in your face, because it will blow up in your face, right?
Yeah.
Like the list of failures is just strewn out behind me in my career where I tried something and it totally didn't work. But you get it back up, you come back the next day, right? All right, guys. Thanks a lot for listening to our episode. We'll see you guys next time, and go forth, do good things.